Hey there, welcome to another Code, Cloud and DevOps Ask Me Anything. This one was not specifically a question from someone that needed answering. It's just I thought it would be something to create to sort of give an awareness to people to find their feet in the world of software development. I get a lot of requests saying, oh, so which field of IT should I pick? Is it just software? Is it just DevOps? Is it just cloud engineering? And the truth of the matter is, those are not the only fields in the world of software development. There are a lot of, would I dare call it, non-technical fields in the world of IT. And I'll be diving into some of them in today's video. I have listed about 25 roles to talk about, but the truth of the matter is, there's more even than what I have listed to talk about in today's video. So the general purpose of today's video is to just highlight the general things that role performs in the whole sphere of software, and then explain a little bit to you how you can find your feet in this software development industry that we're in. And I think the very first obvious one is software engineer, the role of a software engineer. Basically, a software engineer's role involves designing, coding, and testing software applications. So they are the ones who actually go ahead and write the code that makes the application or solution work. So their job is to write high quality and efficient code, and they work closely with stakeholders to understand the requirements, work through solutions, and implement using their favorite programming languages and frameworks. And when they do this, the software becomes available to use. They perform code reviews, they optimize performance of applications, they generally ensure that the software is usable, they make improvements, they fix bugs, sometimes also introduce bugs. Just kidding. But their sole purpose is to actually write code to make things work. And they play a very crucial role in the entire software development lifecycle, from the initial design phase to the final deployment of the software. The other role is a quality assurance engineer, QA engineer for short. And their job is to ensure that the software products meet quality standards, maybe quality standards from the industry or the ones in the specifications of the software. So they test the software, identify bugs and issues, and work closely with the development team, the software engineers, to ensure that those bugs and issues are resolved. So they design and execute test plans, test cases, and also sometimes also automate testing scripts to perform things like regression testing. They also perform things like integration testing, and of course, they also collaborate with the stakeholders involved in software to improve the software development process. And one thing that I think I love mostly about QA engineers is that they have attention to detail and the ability to identify issues faster than even software developers can sometimes. What a developer might have overlooked, they would note it and then raise it to the software engineers. And that role, I would say, cannot be overemphasized. The importance of it cannot be overemphasized in the world of software. The next role is the project manager. Now, a lot of software engineers probably think that role is just a glorified babysitter, but the truth of the matter is it's not, because it's also crucial in the software development lifecycle. And their job generally is to oversee the planning, execution, and delivery of software projects. So they ensure that the projects are completed on time, within budget, and they meet the desired objectives. Now, project managers, they communicate with the stakeholders and they help define the project scope. While they might not be so deep in the world of software, like the technical details, they sometimes, even I would say probably most times, shield the development team sometimes from the business so they can focus on writing their own codes. So they also help facilitate collaboration among team members, software engineers, QA engineers, IT, DevOps, and all the other roles involved in software development. Now, effective project management is crucial to any software, because if the software project is not managed properly, whatever code the software engineer writes, it's not useful to anybody. Whatever the QA engineer tests is not useful to anybody because it's not properly managed. But if it's properly managed, it means time and budget. It means that we can get software out there faster and better to the end user. So their role is critically important also in the world of software. So you could think about being a project manager. The other role to talk about is the UI UX designer. While they are not the same role essentially, but they have a little bit of an overlap, the UX UI designer essentially focus on creating user-friendly and visually appealing interfaces and experiences for the end users. So they create wireframes, they research the user's view on how software is to be used, and then they collaborate with the developers to ensure that the experience of the user is seamless in how they use the application. Because essentially, a software developer can say, yeah, you can click this, that you know that you should right click here. But then the job of a UX engineer is to think like the user and communicate that with the engineers to ensure that they write the software in a way the user would understand. So they apply principles of usability, accessibility, visual design to create intuitive and engaging user interfaces. They conduct user testings, gather feedback from the users, and iterate on designs to improve user satisfaction generally. Their expertise in user-centered design contributes to the overall success of the software development lifecycle. The other role, which is where I fall in, is the role of a DevOps engineer. DevOps engineers generally bridge the gap between development and operations. Their work mainly is to automate processes, manage infrastructure, and ensure the smooth deployment and operation of software applications. They develop and maintain continuous integration and DevOps pipelines. So they ensure that when code is written, they automate how that code is built, and then how it is delivered to target environments and end users. They configure monitoring for the application and also the cloud infrastructure. They monitor it, troubleshoot production issues, and they also collaborate with dev teams to optimize performance of applications, implement security measures, ensure scalability of the application, and reliability of the software application. So their role is also crucial in the world of software development, from dev to production environments. Data scientists are another set of people that are important, or the role generally didn't come to be for until a couple of years ago, as in to become mainstream. Although there are people who have been doing the job of a data scientist for a very long time, but then it didn't become really defined until very lately in the software world. So their job generally is to analyze complex data sets and extract insights and make data-driven decisions. So they use statistical techniques and machine learning algorithms to solve business problems. Their job is to clean and pre-process data, perform exploratory data analysis, and build predictive models. They communicate their findings to stakeholders, provide recommendations on how data should be structured, and they contribute to data-driven strategies to help decision-making processes. The expertise in data analysis and machine learning is essential in deriving meaningful insights and driving data-informed decisions. The front-end developer is someone who focuses on client-side of web development. So they are responsible for creating and implementing visually interactive elements of websites or applications. So develop apps using a combination of languages and frameworks like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and all the flavors of frameworks available in the market today. So their work is to optimize performance of the interfaces, ensure there's cross-browser compatibility of whatever application they're working on, and their work is very closely done with the UX and UI designers to bring the design that they make and experiences they make to life so that they can provide a smooth user experience. The other role, which is also very important, if you're someone that is a little bit shy like me and don't exactly like designs, is the job of a backend developer. Their work is specialized in server-side programming and database management. So they are responsible for building and maintaining server-side logic of a software. So things that run on the back end. Think of a Uber, for example. When you click the button to book a ride, the processing does not happen on your phone. It happens on the server somewhere. That work is done by backend developers. They use maybe one or many combination of languages like Java, Python, PHP, C# to handle processing of data, storing the data, ensuring proper server communication, and ensuring that the data really gets to the front end. So they create endpoints in the application to ensure that the front end gets what it needs. Then there is also the role of a mobile app developer, and they specialize in creating engaging user interfaces on the mobile platforms like your mobile phones and your tablets. They use programming languages like Swift, Kotlin, C# even to make mobile applications, and they build intuitive and responsive mobile applications using collaborative tools with the UI UX designers, front-end designers, and even understanding how the back end of the system works. Then there is also the work of a database administrator, who are responsible for managing and maintaining databases used by software applications. So they ensure there is data integrity, they optimize database performance, they implement security measures on databases, and they monitor the database activities, they troubleshoot issues that might occur, and also perform backup and recovery that might happen in the world of the database of the software solution. So their role is critical also in ensuring that there's efficient and reliable storage and retrieval of information when needed. Then, not so technical role, but sounds technical, is the role of a technical writer. And their role is to create documentation for software applications, user manuals, technical guides, API documentations, and they work closely with the software engineers, front-end engineers, mobile app engineers, and subject matter experts in the software world, in the core operation of the software, to understand the functionality and features of the software so they can write proper user-focused documentation for it. And the users here might be developers or the end users. So they create documents essentially that is easy for the end users to understand and follow smoothly. There's also the work of a software architect, and their job is to design the overall structure and framework of the software application. So they analyze the requirements of the software, they define the software and system components, interfaces, and make high-level design decisions for the software, like the design scalability, design the performance solutions for the application. They also sometimes get involved with security decisions in the software application. So they work closely with the development teams and stakeholders to guide them through the implementation of the software architecture. There's also the role of a cloud engineer, and they specialize in designing, implementing, and managing cloud-based infrastructure and services. They work with cloud platforms like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud Platform, and they build the infrastructure in the cloud, they manage infrastructure in the cloud, they monitor the performance of the cloud resources, and they ensure that security and compliance policies are adhered with in the deployment of those cloud infrastructure. There's I wouldn't call them a one-size-fits-all, but then they're kind of it. There's the role of the full-stack developer, and they have expertise in both the front-end and the back-end development. So they are proficient in multi-programming languages and frameworks and even databases. So they can handle all aspects of software development, from designing interfaces to managing the server-side logic, and they have a comprehensive understanding of the entire software stack and can contribute to all the stages of the development process, from designing interfaces to working with APIs to bring data out to the front end. Then there's also the role of a security engineer, and their job is to focus on ensuring the security and integrity of software applications. They identify vulnerabilities and then implement measures to protect against security threats in the application. They conduct security audits, perform penetration testing, and develop security protocols and practices. They also stay, of course, updated with latest security trends and technologies to proactively address potential risks and vulnerabilities in software. Then also there is the role of a machine learning engineer, and their job is to specialize in building and deploying machine learning models and systems. They work with data scientists to implement and optimize machine learning algorithms. Machine learning engineers also pre-process and clean data, select appropriate models for usage in applications, and train those models in how they are applied in the world of software and how the engineers use them by using large data sets of information for this processing. They have expertise in machine learning frameworks and tools, and they optimize models for performance and scalability. Then there's also the role of embedded systems engineer, and their job is to develop software for embedded systems like your watches, your fridges, your TVs, your cars, and any appliances generally. They work closely with hardware engineers to design and develop software that controls functionality of these embedded systems. The engineers, and they use a couple of languages like C, C++, C#. Yeah, it's possible to use C# and some other languages to build these applications. And the reason they use some of these, I wouldn't call them low-level languages, but some of these core machine or hardware-focused languages is because of the hardware components and the constraints of those hardware. Then there's also the work of a business analyst, and their job is to bridge the gap between business needs and software development. They gather requirements from stakeholders, analyze the business processes, and they identify opportunities for software solutions. They collaborate with software development teams to ensure that the software aligns with business goals and objectives. They also contribute to the development of functional specifications and user stories. Then there's the work of a test automation engineer. It's a little bit different from a QA engineer because we talked about that earlier on. Test automation engineers develop and maintain automated testing frameworks and scripts. They write code to automate the execution of test cases and perform regression testing on the application. Test automation engineers use testing tools and frameworks to ensure the quality and reliability of software applications. They work closely with QA engineers and developers to identify test scenarios and automate repetitive tasks. There's also the role of a data engineer, and their job is to focus on the design, development, and maintenance of data infrastructure and systems. They build data pipelines, integrate data from various sources, and ensure data quality and consistency. Data engineers work with big data technologies such as Hadoop or Spark, and they have expertise in data modeling and database technologies. They play a crucial role in enabling efficient data processing and analysis. The product manager is responsible for strategic planning and development of the software products. They define product vision, gather and prioritize requirements, and they work closely with development teams to deliver high-quality software solutions. Product managers collaborate with stakeholders, conduct market research, and they define the product roadmaps. They also ensure that the software aligns with customer needs and market trends. Then there's also the role, which is not that technical, of a user researcher. So the user researchers conduct research to understand the user behavior needs and preferences. They use various research methods such as interviews, surveys, and usability testing to gather insights and feedback from users. The user researchers analyze data to identify patterns and trends that inform the design and development of software applications. They work closely with UX and UI engineers and product teams to create user-centered solutions. There's also the role of an Agile Coach, and their role is to facilitate the adoption and implementation of Agile methodologies within software development teams. They provide guidance and support to teams in implementing Agile practices such as Scrum or Kanban. They promote collaboration, facilitate effective communication, and help teams improve their efficiency and productivity. They also contribute to the continuous development and improvement of the software process. Then there's also the role of a data analyst, and their job is to analyze and interpret data to provide insights and support decision making. They use statistical methods and data visualization technologies to identify trends, patterns, and correlations in data. They also create reports and dashboards to communicate findings to stakeholders. They work closely with data scientists and business analysts to gather and analyze data for software application. There's also the role of an IT support specialist, and their role is to provide technical assistance and support to users of the software application. So they troubleshoot technical issues, resolve software-related problems, and they provide training and guidance to the users. So the IT support specialists also maintain software systems, install updates if needed, patches, and ensure the smooth operation of the software applications. Now that's all about what I wanted to cover in today's video. There's way more than that in the terms of skills and roles involved in software development. And each role requires specific skills and offers unique opportunities for growth and specialization. So you can explore which one you are interested in, whether you're interested in coding, testing, project management, design, operations, data analysis, front-end, back-end development, mobile app, administration, writing, technical writing, software architecture, cloud engineering, full stack development, security engineering. There's a whole world of possibilities out there for you to explore in the world of software development. So it's not just people who write code like me. It's not just people who write infrastructure code like me that work in software. We have also a little bit technical and also non-technical roles involved in the world of software. And I really hope that gave you some insight into the world of software development and the roles you can pursue in the software world. And I actually hope to hear from you. And this is not the usual code, cloud, DevOps Ask Me Anything question. But if you have any code, cloud, and DevOps related question, remember the usual way. Put the question using the link showing right now by your screen, or follow the QR code showing right about now upon your screen, and I'll get to them and answer them as soon as possible. Until I come your way again yet with another video on Code, Cloud, and DevOps Ask Me Anything. Stay safe and goodbye.